Hi guys, it's Jeff with the Tattooed Spirit, and I'm doing a video response to MsTracyTwo. She has this really great idea to incorporate Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and to associate the different decks that you use or that you have to be able to equate with each of the different stages. I'm sure you've seen a tag by now. It's really popular, and I really had a lot of fun putting together. I don't have the tens of thousands of decks that you guys have, but I do have enough to cover each of the decks plus a few to spare. Thanks to Simon from Hermit's Cave for suggesting all these new rider weights. Now I have more than enough, but I do have the 5 that I wanted to share with you. So here we are. So thank you for MsTracyTwo for offering this wonderful suggestion for a tag. This really gave me I don't know, I had fun considering and lining these things up. So the basic needs deck for me, it's actually an Oracle deck that I haven't used in a very long time at all. It's the Healing with the Angels. This is probably the most popular Oracle deck. Wait a second, what's the best way to do it right there? That's the cover. I know a lot of you have seen it in most bookstores, and it's one of my first Oracle card decks that I ever had. And it truly is just the basics. The idea of just support, or, you know, just music, finding it. It's so nice because you don't need to know a particular system in order to be able to deem meaning and find out. And, you know, it's very straightforward. So for my basic needs deck, it's going to be this wonderful Oracle deck, because it's just simple, to the point. You don't need a lot of knowledge behind it. It's just pick a card and see what you get from it. And I really thought that for me was the most basic of the needs of looking for any sort of card for guidance or inspiration. The second is like my safety deck. It's no really surprise for me. This was a really easy choice for me, and that was my original Rider Waite Smith deck that I had custom colored right there. I mean, you know, I don't even need to show this because it's just so positively familiar. I do like how I colored them. It makes using them a lot more, definitely I would say a lot more enjoyable, I would say. So for my safety, what I'm most familiar with, what I learned on, I'm certainly getting away from that now. I am exploring other decks thanks to everybody on these YouTube channels that are just showing their most amazing imageries to their particular decks. So that's my safety. It's my go-to. I can read them from across the room. I always find something new in them, which is why it was great to do these tags so far and to offer that old tag that I had, that Hang 10 Tarot. Some people were using the riders, and they were offering things that I had never seen before. So again, a big thank you. But that is my safety deck. The next level up on the hierarchy of needs is the Love and Belonging. And I was like, I kind of was stuck on that. I wasn't sure what kind of deck was very particularly loving or belonging, or what made me feel like I was really a part of something. And then I saw this added on from MsTracyTwo that says sexy and lusty in there too. And I said, well, that's a no-brainer. That I know that. And that for me is this wonderful. This is the first deck that I bought because of all you crazy people on YouTube getting me all excited about this, is the Golden Thread. That's the back of the Golden Thread. These are those ultra thin, super thin plastic, and it's just simple. It's basic outlines. They follow the rider imagery, and yeah, I mean, I just think this deck is very sexy. And when I want to feel sexy, I light some candles and I pull. Look at how that's glimmering right there. Just imagine that surrounding with some candles. I wish I could remember who said do this deck with candles, because it really just pops on your old wooden coffee table. You know, just this laying on there. It's just amazing. Very sexy deck. Look at that Temperance just glimmering. Absolutely. No-brainer. So thank you, MsTracyTwo, for saying, this is kind of sexy, lusty deck, because I think that it's sex. All right, what's it? The Self-Esteem deck. The deck of confidence. And this actually, surprisingly for me, was a very easy choice as well. It's a rider-based, but it's this Tarot of the New Vision. And the reason why I feel the most, I don't know, confidence, self-confidence, and from my own perspective is how I associate this level of the pyramid is your place in the world being confident, looking out from your own, basically the seat of your soul. And that's why I picked this deck, because I had explained in other videos that it's just the rider version from the opposite perspective. So you're seeing what's kind of happening from where the camera would normally be viewing the deck. See, the wonderful world that's behind. All right. So I hope that makes sense of why this is from my perspective, looking out into the world, not really reading for other people, you know, with the, you know, looking inward. This is kind of looking outward from my center, and this really assists me and helps me just solidify my perspective in the world. I really should do more videos about this wonderful deck of the New Vision. And also, Miss Jennifer Ball had showed an after tarot deck about what happens just moments after these images were quote-unquote taken. So that's going to be my next confidence deck, I believe. But that's that. Now, the top of the pyramid, this higher self, self-actualization, the highest vibe deck you had, I really had to struggle with that, and not really because I don't have a lot of decks. I have a Morgan Greer that I'm really getting into. I kind of feel like I'm tapping in a more like a vintage, more ancient in a way with that, but that was not what I chose. What I chose, and this actually took some time for me to really decide, is that I feel like I'm most tapped into my higher self whenever I'm talking about the cards with someone who's curious about how they work. In the process of me demystifying the cards, that's whenever I feel like I'm most on my path. That's whenever I'm most incorporating all the levels beneath the top of the pyramid, plus that little extra added, like I'm sort of fulfilling some sort of higher vision or purpose of myself. So for that reason, I chose sort of what I call my teaching deck of the exact same rider weight, these monsters right there, as opposed to this little puppies. This is the normal size right there. And so whenever I'm shuffling and dealing with, and I have these in my talks and lectures and little seminars and classes and stuff, whenever I'm using these decks, even though they're the same images just blown up much bigger, this deck is huge, I feel more on my own self-actualized path. So that is my response to this tag, and it was really good. I highly suggest you going through whatever decks you have, because I learned a lot about myself and really sort of redirected me to what makes me feel self-actualized. So I'm going to be doing more readings, more live stuff on my Facebook, Tattooed Spirit Facebook, because of this tag. So thank you, MsTracyTwo, and for offering this wonderful tag. I'll link it below, and I hope you do this too. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.